Hey Sharks, my name is Melissa Bartow. I'm from New York City, and I'm seeking $100,000 for 20% of my company, Want a Date. I had my first date just 3 years ago during college. And let me tell you, I've had a lot of dates ever since. At least a few every day. Sometimes even more. Sharks, I love dates so much that I created Want a Date, a line of date-based spreads that are natural, vegan, and get this, they're totally allergen-free. You see, Sharks, dates are my absolute favorite fruit. These tasty little things satisfy all my cravings, power me through my workouts, and keep me energized all day long. I love dates so much that I want to just spread them on everything. And the best part is that my date spreads come in all of your favorite flavors. Chocolate, vanilla, cinnamon, and let's not forget pumpkin spice. And at just 30 calories per serving. Want a Date is the perfect go-to alternative for any nut butter or syrup out there. So, Sharks, no more cheating on your diets. What do you all say? Want a date?
Want a date?
Yep.
We'd love to try it.
Yes.
I think David would say yes to that. Apparently, that's why he's jumping at the opportunity. But so this is pretty neat. So it was season 11. Just a couple seasons later, they had magic dates on. That's not a spread, and they found a couple of different spreads. But it's interesting to see the date category come into its own, and it seems like Melissa has really cornered a really neat idea as far as the branding and marketing goes, and it's fun. It's kind of fun to say and stuff like that. The only thing I would say though is the Want a Date. Like, I would actually think that like it is a date, not like a person to person thing, but like a date, the actual date, not the spread. When I hear the Want a Date part, so. But I could definitely see, where you could, do the education process to walk people through the thought process when it comes to Want a Date. So anyway, if you haven't seen Diana's pitch for Magic Dates or the interview I did with her, go check it out. I'll link it at the end of the video over here. And other than that, we'll check out one of your comments from down below. This was a request in the super community from a comment down below, so I appreciate that. The request, if you have a request, drop it down below, as well as we'll check out her Melissa's website and social media at the end.
I know you could all use a little more love in your life, so
Absolutely.
samples. All right, for Damon. Here you are.
Thank you.
That's a big tray of food. Thank you.
Do you have just a natural date, or they're all flavored?
All flavors.
Shame you didn't get us enough food.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Melissa.
You are welcome. Now,
Yeah, there's enough food to last a lifetime.
Thank you. Wow. Oh, yum. What is this, yogurt base?
that is an acai bowl with mixed berries on top and chocolate date spread drizzled.
Wow.
Next to that is a bowl of overnight oats, sweetened only with vanilla Want a Date, a stack of pumpkin spice Want a Date pancakes, and then a date butter and banana sandwich with cinnamon Want a Date, and a side of cinnamon date spread bacon.
So delicious.
I like them, but it tastes so sweet. Are you sure it's only 30 calories per serving?
Dates typically have a lot of calories.
Yes, so if you think about it, most jams and jellies are actually 40 or 50. Nut butters are actually 80 to 90 calories. Plus, we don't add any oils. We mix with water.
Here's a fact, Melissa, you may not know. The date fruit, along with camel milk, can sustain a human being indefinitely. That's how many Bedouins centuries ago lived in the desert.
How do you
Absolutely
know
remarkable.
this story? Remarkable you know
Because I know.
Camel
What people
milk.
don't understand about the date is one of the healthiest fruits on earth, and actually is lower cal than many fruits.
No, the dates are a superfruit. I tell everyone dates are the next, like,
It is a
avocados or
superfood.
cauliflower in terms of food
Ah,
trends.
super schmoopy.
They're delicious, but so underutilized.
Tell us about your sales and how you're selling it.
It's been about 10 months. To date, I've sold, just under $31,000. 10% of that's been through my website, and then 35% is through events. I go to Christmas markets around New York City on the weekends, vegan fairs, and 55% is wholesale.
Melissa, tell us about you.
Originally, I'm from just northwest Georgia, a town called Kennesaw, and I just graduated from NYU, actually, 3 weeks ago.
Congrats.
Are you working on this 100% of the time? Because
Yes.
31,000 in sales, living in New York City, you know,
How do you
Yeah.
support yourself?
My dad supports me still.
So how much
All
does
right, hold on. Before we get into Lori, so shout out to Dad and the dads that are out there supporting dreams and making things happen. Yeah, 31,000 is not a ton of money, but what I think's interesting is the breakdown, the 10 to 35 and 55%. I would think that where are you getting the wholesale distribution and why not ramp that up? So doing the fairs and stuff is great, right? It's great to get exposure. It's great to get like feedback, from people, taste tests and stuff like that, especially if you're coming out with different flavors and things like that. It seems like for someone who only has 31,000 though in sales, there's a lot of flavors that she's went through the trouble of making before, like you're running before you're walking, right? I hope that when we get to the how much money has been invested to get that ball rolling, I really hope it's not a ton. I mean, from jarring, the paper, the ink, I guess the boxes to ship it in, and if she's making it herself, if she's got a co-packer. I feel like there's probably a lot of money already tied up in this, and by a lot, I hope it's like less than $100,000. I hopefully.
does one jar cost you to make?
Right now, it costs me $2.40 to make with the label and all.
That's
I
a
sell
lot.
it. Excuse me?
That's a lot.
Yes, I can get costs down though to about $1.70 or $1.80
And what do you sell it for?
on my website for $12.
$12.
Wow.
Yes.
And people are willing to pay $12 a jar?
Yes, I've actually never had anyone complain about $12 per
Really?
jar. Yeah.
Did you do any type of market research, though, where you would reach out to people and ask them, would you buy this? How often would you use it? Things like that.
Not formally, but also I've learned people have no idea what they do want.
Amen.
The challenge with that is
Yes, if we all knew what we wanted, we wouldn't have iPads. Like they wouldn't be a thing, right? If we all knew what we wanted, we probably would still be using like flip phones and things of that. Well, I mean, flip phones that come back around, but I think you know what I'm getting at here. But when you say not formally, I'm gonna just guess that it's taste tests at the fairs and the and things of that nature that you're getting your feedback from. But great margins, great opportunity. But even at $1.70, I mean, if you continue to sell for $12, that's awesome. We're gonna find out because we're gonna go to Melissa's website at the end here. But you got to make sure that even at $1.70, that's still not a lot, because if you're going to sell, the ultimate goal is to sell for 12, and you sell wholesale, they're going to, the most you're going to be able to get is 6, and they might actually want it at like 5, just in case they have to be able to discount it down and get rid of, especially when you talk about multiple flavors. So you need more wiggle room. So if it was 5, that means you're only making at $2.40 right now, you're doubling your money, which is fine, but it's not great because of, all the runway that you need to get to the next shipment. Like if you were, say, ordering cases or pallets of it at a time, you're gonna be real hand in the mouth at just making $2.60 per jar if they were, say, to want it at a $5 cost. So you really got to get that down as low as possible, and you still got to market the thing, right? So there's all these other costs that are rolled in there. It works if it's just her. If it's not just her, then obviously she got very real costs that pile up quickly around it. So yeah, definitely need some higher margins if she's going to pursue the wholesale market. Continue.
there, right? And you're educating them, right? When I first started, I used to stand out on 125th Street in Harlem, right outside the Apollo, when the Apollo Theater let out. And I got really good responses. They told me what they thought about my t-shirts and my mama. everything, right? But then when I went to put it in stores, it didn't move. When nobody was there to tell the story, I got stuck. So I think as a crowded market that I know nothing about, and I think it's going to be a challenge really just educating people on how badly they need this. So I'm out.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's very early for us to know if people want dates or not. It was delicious. I wish you good luck, but I'm going to go out.
All right, real quick on Damon's story. That's a perfect example of being a super entrepreneur, taking the risk, putting yourself out there. I mean, doing even these videos, right? Putting myself out there to help people and you know, put the story of what it means to be super and raising other people up around you. I think that's to me that's so important, and that's why I think it's important that I'm here delivering this message instead of just, you know, running these episodes or you know, doing nameless faceless channel that just talks about Shark Tank. I think it's really, really important that you get that story out there. Now, with that said, Damon, you know as well as anybody, because you figured out that combination lock problem of how do I get the story into people's hands so that they understand that it's for you, by you, or for us, by us, you know, and what that means. I think that it's really a shame that Damon didn't see the opportunity there to take his experience and apply that to something else like a food spread, especially because he's, you know, very health conscious, especially when he was involved in all of the CrossFit gyms and on other health related foods and items. So that's a shame that he didn't see an opportunity there to take the story and run with it. And it's weird that Lori didn't think. I guess, I don't know, maybe Lori, I don't know. I know it's early, but you know, look, the Shark Tank producers are putting these people in this position to be there. And yes, it takes, you know, months to years to work up to that point to get to go on Shark Tank. But it's just a shame that she didn't see it as an opportunity either.
I hope you change your mind. I'm gonna make dates mainstream. The same way avocados and cauliflower, everything. That's why I chose flavors to lower the inhibitions of customers who have never had dates, heard of dates, don't know the health benefits.
But Melissa, why didn't you do just a plain flavor for people who like dates?
So I do have, actually, I just developed a plain flavor.
But why the flavors at all to start? If you're gonna turn dates into a superfood, you gotta let the star of the show be the star of the show.
So where are you going with this,
I'm
Mark?
I'm disappointed in some respects.
This is date butter.
Plain flavor's coming.
I know, but would you do just that?
And abandon all the flavors?
For right now, yeah. Because if you want to make it a superfood, make it the star of the show.
Here's where, for me, it falls apart. When I was starting my business, if I didn't make a deal within 2 weeks, I was dead. I needed to live somewhere and eat. What is in your way, I believe, is that your father is helping you. Because succeeding is an option versus a necessity. And I found that the people that really succeed have a real necessity. They have to do it, or the sky's gonna fall in. With the absence of that, I can't believe enough to put my money in, so for that reason, no.
Okay, so I don't disagree with Barbara to a point. But we didn't get to hear about how much money, you know, has been sunk into the business to this point. So, you know, I think that just because, you know, what if it's her dad's like last dollar? Like, just because there's somebody else involved, like, you know, they don't get upset when they say, oh, well, we have other investors. I mean, they sometimes do, because it's like, oh, you know, I'm going to be so diluted and it's not going to, you know, I don't want to work with that other person because they're not making, you know, they're making decisions and it's going to push me put me in a bad position because they own like 30% and now I'm only coming in and owning like 10%. Like, that's a problem. Especially if that person is really just a money person and not an idea person or you know, sweat equity or able to really contribute to the conversation of the business itself. So, yeah, I don't disagree. I think that there needs to be a sense of urgency, but I think you're really discounting somebody who, I mean, clearly, I mean, she went to NYU, right? Like, who has at least some kind of drive. She went through, almost went through all the process to get there, to be there right now. That it's not a cakewalk to get to Shark Tank by any stretch, as we've seen with multiple interviews that we've had here on the channel. So, yeah, I think that's kind of a shame that Barbara feels that way. And maybe because she was in New York and was really down to like her last $100 or whatever, and had to turn it all around.
Well, I won't be homeless if this fails, but I do everything on my own. I run my website. Like, my dad just believes in me, like I've never had anything handed to me in my whole life. I'm not like a rich kid. I don't sleep. I carry cases of this all over New York. I work events. I do them all myself. Nobody helps me.
But take away that security blanket of having your rent paid, and the comparison would be like night and day what you can accomplish. I've seen it over and over again with so many people.
Failure is just when you quit. I don't quit, so this won't fail because I will go until it succeeds.
Listen, I started out and my mother mortgaged the house. And without her mortgaging the home, I couldn't have financed my first couple of shirts. So, I mean, that's Barbara's opinion.
You know what, Melissa? I don't agree. I understand from an investment perspective, there is value when someone's back's against the wall. We've all have faced it, right? But that's like saying, if Barbara's right, that means none of our kids can ever do anything on their own. And I refuse to believe that.
Like, I hate asking him for money, and this is the first time I've ever had to. And I'm gonna pay him every single penny back. That's why I work hard every day.
Yeah,
Melissa,
I mean,
my
look,
problem
that's an opportunity. It's an opportunity, right? Not everybody's blessed enough to have that opportunity, but if you have that opportunity to be able to do it, I think it's. Look, I'd like to think that Melissa would go and get a job if she needed to, right? But that puts her further away from where she wants to head and what she wants to accomplish, versus. Really diving deep in. Now, what I'm curious, this all got me thinking, like, goes back to the cost, right? Like, why only $31,000 in sales? If you're selling it at 12 and no one's pushing back, how many repeat customers are you getting to that point? Like, how many individual customers? I mean, what's your email list looking like? Is that growing? Is it stagnant? And if you run a sale at, say, $10, does that perk people's attention? Is it? I mean, all the sharks thought it was, $12 is expensive. I personally don't know. But if I'm thinking about anything that's close to a spread, I mean, the closest thing would be like salsa, and the most I would spend is maybe $4 to $6 a jar. Closer to $6 for like handmade salsa. So, would I get the Magic Date stuff if it's $9 or $10? Yeah, I'm probably more likely than 12. But if I really love it, then I think that's the case. As far as Mark's comment about make date, a plain date flavored, it can work. Like I said, I was the first to come out and say, hey, there's way too many flavors here, especially for someone that only is at $31,000 in sales. You're way early in the game, probably spending way more money and time and effort. Like, because the other thing is you're one person, and this is a good example of this with books. Somebody once told me, like, oh, you only write one book, and then you go and you speak at all these different places, and you only have to carry one book with you to sell that one book, versus like, as soon as you get two books, now I got to carry double the amount of books or split the amount of space and storage, right? Everything pays rent. So the amount of storage space that you have to be able to take those books with you, all of a sudden becomes a problem. Not everyone's going to buy both copies of books, but in this case, you have to split. How much you can physically maneuver around New York City, which is already a pain in the butt, with a jar of stuff that is heavy, that adds up and becomes a bit of a problem when you start talking about like 4, 5, 6, 7 different flavors. I mean, yeah, you don't have to take every flavor with you every time. but you just never know who's going to buy what or what's going to pop off at a different show, a different fair or something like that. So, I feel like going to bat with a plain date and then maybe a second flavor would really benefit. And I, again, I think that it's, people get to go to different universities, on scholarships and things. Like you just don't know. It's tough to say, to make that call, that like, oh, you had somebody else pay for this for you.
Your deal is, it's too early to be worth $500,000. There's a lot that's going to happen before you actually get scale. And I wish you the best, but I'm out.
So now there's me and you. Do you have competition? Is there anybody else selling date butter?
The closest thing is one that's full of coconut oil, coconut butter. It's 10 times the calories. It has fat, it has cholesterol.
I just went vegetarian, so I'm always looking for things that are healthy for my family.
Absolutely.
When you walked in, and other than thinking, what the hell is this, initially, the idea of a date spread was great, because I love dates. But you gotta be smaller, cheaper, easier to ship, and you have to make dates just plain. Are you willing to do all that?
Absolutely. We can look into other packaging options. Absolutely.
Okay, so I'll make you an offer, $100,000, but I want 33%.
Whoa.
33%.
Right, because it's gonna take some time, it's gonna take some effort, but there you go, that's your offer.
You got an offer. What do you want to do?
Because I've learned that it never hurts to ask.
No.
No.
The answer is
I
no.
answered already.
You can counter to it. Go with your gut. This is your business.
Just tell Mark Cuban to take a walk.
I'll take it. I want to work with you anyways. I'll take 33%.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Mark.
Smart move,
Thank you,
Melissa.
thank you.
Smart
We'll
move.
check out the website in a second.
Appreciate it.
I'm excited.
Smart move.
Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations.
I've been an underdog my whole life. Barbara not believing in me is just one in another million people. And I always prove everyone wrong. I just work harder. I put my head down and hustle, and I'll just keep doing that. That's what I've always done and always will do.
Did you notice after I insulted her, she was a different person?
I like the way you beat her up.
Yeah.
Put her on a
That's
camera.
why I wanna
Insult
see if she
anybody,
had
they're
what
a
it
different
took.
person, Barbara. I think Mark brought up a point. Why did you insult her? Because none of our kids will be successful because...
No, you know why? Because there are a lot of wealthy kids that become extremely successful.
And
I
yeah.
expected of my children. But until I insulted her, I wasn't
Boy, she
feeling
fought
her
back, and that
vibe.
was the
Insulted
difference.
her?
She came back like a fighter. That's what I wanted to see.
Yeah, no, I think that that's cool, Barbara, but like it doesn't seem like you were that interested in giving a deal regardless. So like, I mean, unless Mark told you go be the bad guy here, I don't know, but. All right, so want a date. So a couple things that stood out to me when I was looking at this. It's a little hard to read the want a date because it's like the same color on color. This picture is a bit low res. I'm only on a 1080p monitor, and I mean I don't know if it's coming through clear in the video, but it's just a little like low res. Even for 1080p. But you have all the benefits here. One thing that I didn't see was people until you get all the way down here, and then I don't know if that's Melissa or not, but yeah, you got to go all the way to the bottom before you see any pictures with people and faces. I always like seeing people with faces, and I feel like this really lends itself to be able to have that play on words with people enjoying the spread, and I think that's a really important aspect to it. Oh, I like the fact that they kind of dance there left and right with the pictures. Very cool. So yeah, still $12 for the spread. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different flavors. They have the original date spread, vanilla date and pumpkin spice, cookie date, chocolate date, and cinnamon date spread. And then they got snickerdoodle date dough as well as chocolate brownie and birthday cake. Lots of reviews. Seems like it's pretty good and showing that the competition, 25 calories for dates and water are the main ingredients, no added sugar, oil free. And apparently none of these other ones, I mean, I love Nutella, but like it's not, it is not that good, for you. And this is a much, much better alternative, and where it's been featured everywhere, including Shark Tank. But Shark Tank, I'm surprised. Like, I know this was a couple seasons ago, but I just feel like Shark Tank, especially with a deal with Mark, you would see more Shark Tank stuff around. I'm kind of curious. Let's see see our store locator. Where is the store locator over here? So store locator, we got they're located. Let's see if we can zoom in here. Is that a place in Europe? They have a location in Europe? Oh, yeah, I do. How about that? Let's see, New York. I am in the Philadelphia area, so there's a couple here in Newfield, New Jersey, and Greenwich, New Jersey. I wonder if the Newfield I don't know. I have to see if I can get it, or if I will just probably have to order some. Probably the easiest, but very cool. Check out the social media. So over on Facebook, we got 5,200 followers of the page. Let's see. We have not much some engagement there going on. 8 reviews for 5.0 stars. Twitter. Oh, the Twitter didn't. I guess. Oh, it didn't take me there. Oh, you know what? Because I think I logged in. So yeah, Twitter, 228 followers, and no posts since July of 2021. Instagram, 22,000 followers over there. Great to see. There you go. There's the Facebook, or not Facebook. I'm sorry, her face and Shark Tank appearance there, which is great to see. And then, yeah, quite a bit of engagement over here on most of these posts over on Instagram. And then 1,760 subscribers on YouTube. And as recently as 4 days ago, posted a new video. Great to see. So, Melissa, I'd love to have you come on the show and give an interview. Just drop a comment down below. Like Nicole here said, love your outfit. She's talking about... I don't know, one of my Christmas outfits for one of the Christmas videos I've done. I'm a new subscriber and I love the breakdowns. Merry Christmas. Thank you so much, Nicole. I appreciate having you here in the super community and commenting down below in many of the videos. Anyway, I'll see you in one of these 2 videos over here with Magic State's Diana, if you haven't watched that pitch up here or her interview on the channel here. Anyway, take care and go be super.